Okay, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the press conference for Latvia and Great Britain. Latvia winning 97-92. Teddy Okorefor has joined us along with Joe Prunty. Teddy, if you could just give us a comment, please, on the game and this EuroBasket experience for you in Great Britain.
I mean, personally, it's a great experience. It's a high level. We're playing against the best of the best in Europe. I think the games have gone tough for us. We haven't played our best. We've made comebacks, we've shown fight and we've shown improvement, but we haven't pulled out the games the way we wanted to, and it's been tough, but we've got to move on and come back tomorrow strong and ready to play.
Okay, thanks very much. Sorry, just as a quick reminder, make sure you don't have any audio devices that are up because I can hear something. And make sure the mobile phones are on silent, please. Is that outside? Okay. Okay, Joe.
Tough third quarter defensively in the first half. Too many easy looks. That carried over into the third, and obviously they got a pretty big lead. And that's something that each game we've had something we've addressed. In the first game, Belgium did shoot the ball very well, but a lot of offensive rebounds, and we put them on the free throw line too much. In our next game, we had too many turnovers, and tonight we just didn't do a good enough job defending the three. 17 threes is very difficult to come back from. They deserve credit for being able to make shots, but we need to do a better job of recognizing who's making shots, how they're getting the shots, and making sure they're not that they're having to go to something else. So something that we'll have to work on, but again, tomorrow creates a different challenge, and we'll have to be prepared for that.
Okay, thanks, Joe. If you have a question, raise your hand, and I'll get a microphone to you. Emmett Ryan from Ball in Europa.
Indeed. Joe, just a quick one regarding Luke Nelson. Is he injured, or what was the reason to not go with him today?
Just making sure. He had got banged the other day, and went out there, warmed up, wanted to see if he could do it, and we just thought it was the best decision. Not, we'll see if a little bit more rest helps him.
Okay, right here. Please tell us who you are.
Hello, my name is Pavle Knežević. I'm from the Serbian website Sportski.net. Question for Coach. Can you tell us something more about your tomorrow's opponent? How well do you know them, and how are you preparing for the game?
Well, they're pretty good. It's easy to say. There are few players, obviously, that could make them even better, but it doesn't matter. They're extremely well coached. They're very sharp with what they do execution-wise, very cerebral. Players like Makvan is underrated in terms of the way he sees the game, the way he thinks the game. Players that come in when they sub, very disciplined. They're efficient with their execution. Defensively, they're sharp. They've got a few things that we need to make sure we're prepared for. Again, that we know they're good. We know that they'll be very difficult, just like everybody else in this tournament, or in this pool, excuse me. But it's something. We'll watch more film. We'll watch them play tonight and see what adjustments we might have to make to what we do.
Right here, please. Please identify yourself, sir.
Josh Davis from FIBA. Question for Teddy. You and Andrew were able to combine for 19 assists, and obviously Kyle had 18 points. Can you just give us a comment on the chemistry you guys are kind of building in the backcourt?
I think that just comes from years of playing with each other now. We're playing in the summer and building that chemistry together. Us three have played a lot together, especially me and Andrew in the fourth quarter or throughout the game. So we know each other's spots. We know when to pass each other the ball, and then getting out in transition and running is where we excel. And so if I can get the ball to Andrew or he could get the ball to me, we can pick apart defenses. And it worked out that Kyle hit some shots today, so that helped us too.
Okay. Are there any more questions? Right here.
Hello, my name is Nikola Stojkovic, and I work for Serbian website Motorsport. I have a question for Coach. So, are you have any special preparations for Bogdan Bogdanovic and Boban Marjanovic? And what type of game are you expecting tomorrow? More physical, or maybe like against Latvia now?
Well, I'll up what I said earlier. They're really good. Okay. So that having been said, I don't know if as a team they're going to get any smaller. So, you know, without going into exactly what our game plan is and obviously watching tonight and seeing if there's any adjustments to what we need to do, I think there's multiple things against that. It can't just be how you stop them defensively. It's also how you make them work offense. When we're on offense, how we make them work. So, you know, for us being disciplined, being sharp with our execution, making them have to work to try and take something out of what they do when they're on the other end. They can be very aggressive at times, not only just their size and protecting the paint, but in their coverages. And so, like the things we talked about before, offensive rebounds in one game or taking care of the ball and turnovers in another, or defending threes, because obviously, you know, they've got a pretty good, several good shooters. But the point is, you've got to be able to adjust to all of those. And in a given game, you know, one of those guys can go off. And, you know, so like last night against Turkey, you know, Usman had a big game the night before, doesn't have a big, or excuse me, 2 nights ago, doesn't have a big game. So that's the beauty of this tournament, is on a given night somebody can play really, really well. And so it's what we do as a team to stop a player. It's not always just one guy saying, hey, this is who you're guarding, that's it. We do it as a team.
Another question for Mr. Davis.
Coach, statistically, Gabe Olasini's been actually the most efficient player in the tournament. Can you just give us a comment on his growth and his impact as a player?
Gabe's outstanding. He's been great for us. You know, I think the things that he does to impact the game, you know, and you talk about the efficiency, like offensively gets to his spot, and he consistently gets there. The beauty of him is that you don't have to worry about calling a play for him. And sometimes that's what, and not here, just in general, people get caught up like, well, I want a play called for me, I want this. He doesn't worry about that. He just stays focused on what the goal is. He wants to win, just like everybody on our team. He's not afraid to do the dirty work. You know, you'll look at the stats and you'll say, okay, X amount of rebounds, and I think he's been a double-double in 2 of the 3. All 3? Yeah, so all 3 he's a double-double. But that doesn't tell the whole story, because he's always positive, always focused on trying to get the win. He's a tremendous screener, and like I said, he knows where to be on the floor, not only for him, but for us to be effective as a team. And he's very unselfish. He'll make the extra pass. So I think, you know, with a guy like him, he's invaluable for what he's doing and what he's done since he joined the British team.
Okay, are there any more questions? If not, we'll call it at that. Thanks very much, gentlemen.
I would do. Okay. Sorry about that. You're on the right side, please.
Either one. And sorry, Doc, those next to your own microphone.
You can leave it on the side.
Okay.
Just get your microphone.
It'll be okay. Okay, start the Latvian proportion of the press conference. Davis Bertons and Ainars Bagaskas. Davis, if you could just give us a comment, please, on the game.
I think we started off decent on both ends. It wasn't anything special, either offense or defense. I think we made our shots. But we came out in the second half, in the third quarter, just tried to play aggressive defense. And that's what gave us the lead, you know, easier points on offense. And then I guess we kind of relaxed a little bit in the fourth quarter. That
it became a closer game at the end, and happy that we came out with the win anyway.
Thank you very much. Einers?
I just want to accept that what Davis said right now is the first of all, when we started playing little bit I said more in the defense. Immediately was good transition offense, good positional offense. We found the open shots and we scored them. Then is I repeat for the players and for myself all the time as the game going for the 40 minutes, not for the 25, 35 or less. And for one moment, I don't want to say, I'm not agree as we are relaxed, but just we miss all good shots what we found, and we lost players in transition defense. And Great Britain is a good shooters. They found a shooting rhythm and they scored those points. And that was finally was maybe not as we are expecting the last 6 minutes, but most important today was a win. How we win, that's another story.
Okay, thank you very much. If you have a question, raise your hand. I'll get a microphone to you. Emma Ryan from Ball in Europe.
I'm just hogging this seat all week. Davis, I suppose one of the upsides possibly from that fourth quarter stutter is it might get you guys more focused for tomorrow's game. Would that be something you think?
I think it's definitely going to... Is it working? Oh. I think it's definitely going to be a thing for us to think about today and make sure that we don't make those same mistakes in the future. And, you can't relax for a second against any of the teams here because everybody knows how to play basketball.
Okay. You have another question? Josh Davis? No? Yep.
Davis, we saw you in warm-ups kind of testing out the finger and the hand a little bit. Obviously, you came in, hit your first shot. Can you just talk about how, the injury kind of, affected your play in any kind of way?
Definitely had to test it out a little bit before the game, but as soon as I stepped on the court, I completely forgot about that there's any problem there and just played basketball.
Okay. Are there any more questions in English? If not, this concludes the English portion of the news conference. Thank you.